Hello, welcome back to BSLIVE. Today I want to show you the whole process on how I did my 3D therapy last night. So basically, I'm using my iPad Pro and then I start doodling using Nomad Sculpt. I don't have anything in mind, but with Nomad Sculpt you can quickly kind of form a shape and then start sculpting, and just using brush like flatten, and then sometimes I use crease as well, and just to doodle like a 3D shapes, okay, on the iPad. I like using the iPad because you can do it on the sofa or inside any room, you know, and it's just you just very relaxed. I like to use Blender as well at some point if Blender runs on iPad, but for now it's a Nomad Sculpt. It's a really good tool for that. The next step is actually just using the paint. I'm painting using the PBR material, so we cannot really paint like something like glass or anything fancy like that, but you can sort of make it looks like metal or plastic. This is like really rough. You can just doodle because you don't need to worry, because at some point you will actually do like a repaint using Procreate. So yeah, and then after you do that, you finish and then you export it out as GLB or GLTF. And this is where you want to switch to Blender, okay, because it's really dense when you export it from NomadSculpt, and you use a lot of like dynamic remesh. You make a lot of details. Your iPad can handle that without any issues, but you want to export it into Blender and you want to kind of doing like a retopo, and maybe you want to do like a touch up, but anyway, you bring the whole things into Blender and then you do like remesh. You can see the topology is kind of reduced into 10% or even like 1% of the original, and you have like a nicer topology. Yeah, this is the comparisons. The tool that I'm using for this automatic result is actually dynamic remesh. Okay, this is an add-on. You just purchase it like $15 or something, by Alberto Gonzalez. Okay, so from this high density mesh you can get simple mesh. Okay, the topology is not 100% perfect, but this is something that you can tweak yourself, maybe using another app on the iPad. I haven't purchased that one because that one is a little bit expensive, $150 or something, but you should know the app name from Twitter. I mentioned it, but anyway, you retopo and then you do the baking from NomadSculpt into this lower version. Once you do that, you can export it out as a USD or USDZ, and then actually sending it back into another app. Okay, of course that's gonna be Procreate. I think I kind of do it. I have a video showing the process. Okay, the Procreate Repaint. I'm doing Repaint in the Procreate. Sorry about the video. I need to rotate it. How to rotate this? Oh, okay. So yeah, this is when I switch to Procreate as a USDZ, using USDZ format from Blender into Procreate on the iPad again, and just do like a repaint. With repaint you start to think, okay, which part is gonna be maybe glass or something like that, but you can add a lot of like paintbrush kind of details, very artistic detail using Procreate. This is when things getting a little bit more detailed. Yeah, if you want you can actually send it back into Nomad and just add more sculpt and details. I didn't do that. What I did next was to, let me see. Okay, this is actually the final versions. It's a dancing character for the dance, okay, we made just the helmet, right? But in the end, actually, I want to turn it into like a dancing cyborg. Okay, the alien helmet is looking like, oh, this is the, I think this is the basic version before I send it into Procreate and do like a repaint. As for the dancing character, this is actually, yeah, this is actually me dancing, and I send it to a website called Plask. Okay, Plask.AI. Okay, I was actually dancing really, and then just record myself. I record myself with the iPhone facing me from below, so this is the result. It's a little bit funny. It's better if you keep the iPhone straight. I think this is from the bottom, but anyway, yeah, this is me dancing. Send the video, and then you get the motion capture result. It will not capture your fingers or feet properly, but you get the full body motion, so it's kind of okay for like a 3D therapy. I just apply this into mannequin, and then export it out as FBX, and then I bring it into Blender, and inside Blender I can further tweak and assign the helmet. I just assign the helmet, and then I actually parent it, but I also skin it into the bone. So as a result, this is what we are looking. If I'm not wrong, I'm still rendering in the background. It's only 369 frame. I think it's nearly finished. I also, yeah, for the body I did a little bit painting, and I animate the hue using noise, and this is like a procedural dance. The noise is affecting the color of this texture, and then I just render it inside Blender. Ideally, of course, this character can be manipulated. You want to be able to perform live, and in order to perform live, you need maybe another app, maybe Snap Lens or Snap app can do that. You need to work with Snap Lens Studio, and then create like a body capture rig, and then you can perform live. But in this case, because we already did this motion capture inside Plask, we just simply apply the helmet into this character and then export it out. Once you export it out, you get like a dancing character. This is actually AR ready. You can send it just to iPhone or iPad, or if you really want, you can send it as GLB and then use an app like Wonderland, and then you just put it in real world and then send it to your friend. Okay, so I think that's the whole setup. Nomad present. I think I might have video. Yeah, I'm using that dance music from Psy and Suga. Yeah, so it's become an AR. Just, I think something that can be fixed is just the foot and maybe the hands. Ideally, you can also have like that kind of motion capture suit, you know, and then just send it to game engine like Unreal or Unity or maybe Godot someday, and just perform live for YouTube or TikTok. Okay, so that's the whole process. It's like a, I found that, okay, I always call it like a 3D therapy, because it's really nice therapy because you can kind of sculpt it on the iPad. It's very relaxing process. Yeah, again, sculpt, paint, and okay, the remeshing happens inside Blender. That part should be automated eventually using another app, or if you want to do it on the iPad as well, there is another app, but that costs too much. I won't mention the app at the moment. But if you do like a retopology and you're done with the mesh, you can then do like repaint, and then, but in the end you want to really just animate the character. So there should be another app on the iPad to do like a performance, like a motion capture, real time or not. Like maybe Snapland Studio for the iPad. I don't know if it's ever gonna happen, but yeah, it's possible. It's not impossible. So in the end, you're gonna have a character, yeah, like this, you know. And yeah, it's dancing. I rendered this out. This is live inside Blender. I'm using Eevee. Oh, okay, Eevee. Eevee should be pretty performance. With Eevee you get the glow, but with cycles you get other things. So I just finished rendering. It's on the desktop. This is that Cyborg. Open with QuickTime and then File, open image sequence, select all, create animations. So it's 369 frames, and let's see. Oh, actually, this takes quite a while. Maybe it's gonna export this out, not while capturing. Maybe it's too slow, but yeah, that's the whole process. Sculpt the helmet, like just whatever design you came up with, and you kind of like okay. I always like imagine there's like a tribes called Blenderian, and the Blenderians like to make their own 3D augmented reality costume, and then yeah, and then they do like dancing, and that's basically the whole process. Hopefully you find it interesting and useful. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.